Hallelujah.
In theory, we are live.
In theory.
In practice,
one way to find out.
Who knows?
I was about to say, it looks good on my end, and then the video froze.
Oh, really?
And then it's came back.
Oh,
So it
okay.
was-
Yep.
Okay.
but it was
Yeah,
literally
I
just
think
like,
we're
and the video goes, I'm like, okay. Hold up for a moment, and we're fine. Good. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Doing a quick
Howdy, folks.
fix. There we go.
Cool. Yeah,
I
we're
think we're
good.
here.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
good.
we definitely seem to be here.
How are we? We good?
10 out of 10? Yes.
10 out of 10, you're good.
Well,
on,
no,
a
just
scale,
10 out of 10.
on a scale of 1 to 10, yes.
That is pretty much as I can give you today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That is fine.
Jamie, yourself?
Me? I'm good. I just literally moments ago finished a show, so I'm a little bit like whiplash, adrenaline junkie business going on.
This is my curtain call for you.
Yes.
Oh,
You did a great job. I especially liked it when you did the thing.
I mean, to be fair, the thing was pretty great.
The thing was the
To
best.
be
Oh.
fair, do I not sound like every person who's never done a theatre show ever at the end of a theatre show?
yeah.
And a film, actually. Also.
You were so good when you did that thing. Thanks. That was all
everyone
green
else in the room
screen
is
and
going-
not me. So
Yeah, when you did that really cool stunt, / was done by stuntman. And the song you did was done by professional singer. Yeah, it's his session.
Basically.
Oh gosh. So how did it go?
It went very well. I am, of course, referring to Stream Shakespeare's Henry IV, Part 2. We did Part 1 and Part 2, which is mad. Don't do 5 hours of Shakespeare back to back. That's a lot.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't fight you on that one.
And we did it.
Counter
in
offer,
space.
do.
No, counter
I mean,
counter
like,
offer, don't do it.
It was great, and we did it in space, so I got cool props like this. But
Cool props are fun. But you don't need
Yeah.
5 hours of theatre to do that.
Props
That's
for
it.
props.
That's it. Look,
Counter,
most of the
counter,
time we did,
counter
like,
offer.
Most of the time we did like Part 1 day and then Part 2 the next day, but on Saturdays we did 2.
I
Not
have cool
this
props
bad.
and no show.
We could just have cool
Excuse
props
me,
for
this
no
is a
reason.
show.
You're absolutely right.
I have cool props
I
and
had
a show.
this very cool eye visor for my.
Oh.
Oh.
Hairband, you say?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a $5 hairband from.
No,
yeah.
no.
So all I see is visor.
Can you not, please? The magic? You're destroying it.
Yes.
My immersion.
Where's the suspension of disbelief?
My immersion.
Hello?
Sorry, I'm the technical guy. I'm the technical guy who usually drops the props, so I recognize that immediately.
Please.
There,
Do
there
not
is
ruin my
no
immersion.
magic, only science.
I still think doing 2 back-to-back shows of Shakespeare's and then watching all of the Lord of the Rings extended edition is probably
A
death wish.
closing night. Oh, sorry. Right. Of course.
same.
Yeah, like, I think I've done something like that.
Jamie.
I did a 3.5 hour musical and then watched Lord of the Rings.
No,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Oh,
Well, nerds.
hang on. Streamlabs thing bot. I should check to see if the bot is here. Because we were having bot problems, and I keep forgetting to fix that.
Good bot. Oh no, it's going to be so wrong for me at this point in time. So wrong.
That's okay.
Um.
Regardless, it is over now. But if you want to see Henry IV Part 1 and 2, it will be video on demand in like a week or two's time.
Let's go.
Awesome.
That is cool, actually.
Congratulations.
Sam, how are you?
Good. Better for being here, I think.
Great.
It's been a long day, but game is fun, so excellent.
Nice. Good game is good.
Yes.
Game is good. Good game is great.
Long day. I feel like everyone's sorry, I'm just reading chat now. I'm sorry.
It was just me. It was just me.
That's how my day has been. That's how my day
Speaking
has
of good games that are great,
Michelle. How has your day of 7 hours been?
Oh, okay, cool. Yay, bot is back. All right, that's fixed. Gosh. Yeah, so Thursday evening, ran what apparently is probably one of the best games I've ever managed to run as an arc, which is cool. For the Star Wars meta campaign that I do. That was a remarkably draining experience. We wound up being damn near 7 hours by the time we finished it.
So
like I was
2
telling-
Shakespeare plays, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And like I say, we had people who were kind of we not quite a studio audience, but we had people who were listening in on the Discord channel, and apparently were going and getting other people to come listen too, so they could talk about what they were listening to. But not players, just literally just folks and friends hanging out, and so that was cool. That was a very cool experience.
Nice.
So that was Thursday. Then I got up Friday morning, and they rebroke the ticket system at work. So it's kind of like getting to have a really good beer and fish and chips at a Swiss Alps chalet while you're very aware of the fact that there's an avalanche warning up for the hillside you're on.
I mean, I'd still go. I'd still do it. Is that I'd still do that. Sounds like I'd do it still.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. See, I had a very relaxing day at work while completely aware that we're now up to over 300 tickets in the queue that no one can service. And then last night decided, because hey, I'm feeling the whole anxiety thing has been going away and is very, very manageable. One of the most fun things I used to do for a pastime was flight sim flying. It's just that the problem is when you're flight sim flying, well, there's checklists and there's rules and there's all these, and I was just driving myself out the friggin' wall. The very idea of sitting down to fly would start ramping my anxiety through the roof, to the point where I had bought a pile of very expensive equipment to help with my hobby, and had basically packed it all up and put it away, so just looking at it wouldn't stress me out.
Yeah.
So then Friday would be the first time in over almost a year that I felt well enough to plug it all back in and go for a flight.
Yay.
And that's great, except that, bluntly, there's nothing you can do in flight simming that takes less than 3 hours. And I decided this would be a good plan at 10 o'clock at night my time.
Oh.
So I wrapped up at 1 and thought, yay! And then looked at the clock and went, uh-oh. Hi there, little bit.
That sounds like most nights in Chantal's room.
You need to not attack me just on screen like that. I thought you were going to say it was your most nights for you, but no, it is.
No, Chantal, I go to bed at a normal time. At a normal human time.
How?
The really fun one is when the sudden realization isn't caused by the clock, but by the fact that you realize it's getting light outside. And you're like,
To be fair, that has happened too many times.
Yeah.
Way too many times.
I was just gonna say, I've done that a couple of times, usually at either gaming conventions or SCA after parties, because you get a bunch of people like me who are all storytellers hanging out and attempting to outbard each other, and by the time you go around the room 4 times, it's time to make breakfast. So you just go make breakfast. Everyone stands in the kitchen
stories.
and keep telling stories. Yes.
Yeah. Who stops? Why would you stop? What's the point of that? By the time it's daylight, it doesn't make sense to me to consider stopping. Why stop once it's too late to stop?
When you could rock it out. We're doing slam poetry, quick.
Nadine, how are you? Not that good. Not so good.
I'm grand. I had a wonderful day.
Oh, we were doing it. I was ready.
What?
Oh, sorry.
We were having a slam poetry
day,
competition off the cuff.
No. The sky was grey. Quick, Jamie.
No.
Oh. Ow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I had a good day. I essentially spent most of it in my day job, just frowning angrily at people, but they couldn't see it because I was wearing a mask, because Perth is in a 3-day lockdown, everyone. Yay!
Oh no.
Yes.
Again?
So, yeah, it happens. People pay thousands of dollars to go into quarantine when they fly into Australia, and then they get COVID in the hotel quarantine. And then they're not tested on the 14th day, so then they go out in public for 5 days, and community transmission happens.
Oh no.
And then they fly to Melbourne, and at Melbourne Airport, they're like, you're a bit spicy right now. You should go back into quarantine. And they're like, okay.
You have the Perth spice.
And it should not flow. That should not flow.
There is no Perth spice. Why are you spicy?
Yeah. You have the Perth spice.
What spice?
You have the Perth spice.
Okay.
Where did this come from?
Yes.
Why is this?
I was just going to say, which is not the same thing as Old Spice.
No.
No. If
That's going to actually, we've revealed it here today, everyone. Welcome. Old Spice is going to be the new COVID vaccine.
Does everyone get a horse?
Yes.
Down, back up. You're sick.
Yeah.
Sam.
No, pretty good.
Oh. You didn't hear that, did you?
No.
Okay, cool. Just checking. I made a noise, and so my husband, of course, mimicked it back at me, not realizing that we were live.
As he should. As he should.
This is my life.
Filmed in front of a live studio
How was
audience.
your day? How are you?
How am I?
Oh. Hi, Leslie.
I am confused.
What? Why?
The concept of consciousness and unconsciousness, and
Oh, yeah, that.
like
Oh,
it literally
yes.
kind of is the way you've said, and I keep going to sleep at 2 a.m. and then waking up at 6-ish, 2-3 in the morning, and then I'll wake up at 6 because that's what my body does, and then being like, why am I awake? I'm so tired.
You look at the sky and go, but it's the same light as when I went to sleep. So, for why?
Why? Well, that's what ADHD does. For me, it looks at the concept of daylight and says, well, as long as there's light, it is wake time.
Do you reckon?
Can I have some of that ADHD? Because mine is like, oh, there's light outside. Go to bed now.
See, that is a delayed circadian rhythm. Let me lay some knowledge on you.
I know exactly what it is.
Knowledge. It's if you have a delayed circadian rhythm. I have a delayed circadian rhythm, but I also have hyperactivity. And it seems that a lot of people I know don't have the hyperactive side. They have the inattentive side.
Never
I feel like a
define
lot of
shall
people
me.
have the hyperactive side, just not in the ways that are as
That are me.
detrimental to the person.
They don't have
as
the
yours
me
is.
hyperactivity.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Give me my kind of spicy hyperactivity, please.
I want to. I'm already scared of what I'm going to do when I finish my PhD. I'll be entirely honest with you. I'm scared because if I'm capable of doing a PhD and all of the other stuff that I do, I'm clearly going to find something else that takes up that amount of energy, and I have no idea what it is yet. I might like start doing a medical degree. I don't know yet.
Chantal, I don't have enough energy for it to be me, so please do find something else. I simply go to sleep at 10 p.m.
We both know you don't actually mean that. We both know this.
You're right. Sorry, it's 11.
Okay. Let's live now. We are live. We already
We
did
are
that
already
bit.
live.
Live from the Rockefeller Center.
That was so like the actual thing that I was like, oh, what YouTube is open that made that noise?
Yeah, so everyone here is a
did that really
storyteller
well, Jamie.
and or voice
Bravo.
actor and or actor and or all kinds of other stuff.
Writer.
Writer. There are a lot of writers here. A lot of them.
Look at us.
And
Talented
directors.
bastards. How dare we?
And if you're looking for a creative, just email us at lostworldsarchive
Creative.
at
So
gmail.com.
let's just be straight up. Just hanging out with you people is a creative process, whether we do anything or not. So, I mean...
I'm getting my peak, like, wanky creativity on tomorrow. I'm going to a live painting and poetry reading
Oh my god.
show.
Who's naked?
Wow, did I completely hear that wrong initially?
Is it you?
No, I don't think there's any nakedness because it's a public park.
Oh, correct.
Or
What
But
if
what if?
we sealed off some of the public parts?
it's the spicy clothing.
It's
But what if
Unless
could be
it-
naked?
Unless they're painting nude people and doing the like, I want that one day. That looks like fun.
I don't think so, but I am aware that like the people hosting the event also host an event called it's I can't remember. It's like naked reading or something where they read like novels while sitting on stage naked.
Wait a minute. Someone has filmed or has publicized my Saturday nights? Sorry, I should say Sunday nights because I'm here on a Saturday night. I have a twin. Sorry, should have said.
Sure.
Should we play a game? I
Let's
feel
play.
like a game.
Let's play a game. Shall we play a game?
Oh,
Do we-
like,
Let's do the gaming thing. That's what
What
we're
game do you want to play?
Snakes and ladders. I think that's somewhere.
Actually,
Naked
just
reading in the
before
park.
we
Naked
finish
reading in the
plugging
park.
things, Sam and I also played a very cool
That's
game
right.
called Partners this week, and
Oh,
you can
yes.
see that playtest on the Tin Star Games.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
that was us. We were the
Oh,
partners. I was a wild card conman android cyborg, and
Yes.
Sam was a straight shooting rabbit.
I simply
Oh,
could not
so-
do that. I've done nothing straight in my entire life, so.
I was a punk rabbit kid who turned to the force to turned to a corporate structure to get himself on the straight and narrow.
Again.
Wow.
all I can imagine
Straight or narrow?
is your typical Angora with a mohawk.
Typical.
Is that what they call me?
That's
The
the,
Benton
that's the
Wives.
only visual I've got out of that whole thing. Angora rabbit with a rainbow mohawk, straight off of Piccadilly, you know.
I like it. I like it.
It's the kind of game where we legitimately had to clarify if I meant an actual rabbit or like some kind of anthropomorphic rabbit.
Yeah.
Too many jokes
Which
that
was
I could
it?
be making right now. There
You'll
is a
have to
third
watch
kind
the
of
video.
rabbit.
I need to know.
What in the example of play, one of them is a dog. Like,
An actual dog?
It's just I don't know if the player was a dog. Maybe the player was.
We try not to make
I
judgments like that about
the
people.
player
They're
was
a
a
dog all the
human, the dog was a robot, and the cake was a lie. I don't know.
Wait, everyone needs to be quiet for the glug glug.
The glug glug?
Wait for it. Not nearly enough glug.
Not nearly enough
good
glug. I'm
microphone.
sorry.
Finish that
Fine.
one. Try again.
Good microphone.
There's only one left.
The
You know,
Kickstarter for partners. Just before we go on to the actual point of the stream, the Kickstarter has ended, but it was successful. So I think they did more than almost 4 times what their target was
Nice.
Yeah.
by the end of everything. So
That's
that was, which I think was better than his previous one. Like it got more people involved than since the previous one. So that was great. But so keep an eye out, I guess.
That is fantastic.
Highly
yeah.
recommend. Very fun game. And
All
it's
right.
it's not as about police as you think it would be, in a good
Nice.
way.
Yes.
Oh,
We can all agree that's good.
yes. Also, since we're doing this now, I forgot that I should probably say something about Gehenna Gaming at 8 p.m. on not this Monday, but next Monday, Eastern Time. I'll be there playing Monster Hearts.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Looking very cool.
Looking very cool too. Yeah. Like check out
A+.
Gehenna's or my Twitter because I'm cosplaying again, and I may possibly last game have lied about not wearing a corset because I found a way.
When have you ever not?
All in favor of Chantel wearing a corset, say aye. Aye. I mean,
Corsets.
I can
Find a way.
You say plural. I can make that
Corsets,
happen.
I would want Chantal to wear a corset.
No, that's the only way to stop me. Is all those puns.
No, I take it back.
Bad puns.
There are no bad puns.
Sam?
Just misunderstood puns.
Sam, please.
Just bad pun makers? Wait, hang on.
hate the game, not the player.
We're gonna let's do the intro now because frankly speaking,
Puns don't kill people. People
Kill puns, yeah.
puns don't kill people. Chantel kills puns. It's time for the intro, and you're all gonna be a bit quiet. And we're back.
Lisa, may I be unmuted?
I
If
am
you're
muted
good.
myself.
If you're very good.
I'm never good. That's not good.
Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it?
Tis.
To mute land you go. I have fun.
We already did the pre-show. This is the show.
I know, isn't it?
This is very show.
I just bratishly clicked stay muted.
And then I'm not told about that, so that only benefits who?
Hence why I had to say it out loud.
Right, I see.
Is that the equivalent of like mouthing swear words, into a door, knowing your parents are on the other side?
You're so stupid.
Right. So I guess we're running a game here or something.
Yeah. We need to catch Jamie up a little bit. Jamie,
Yeah,
who is potentially an actual rabbit, or okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, what happened? I missed last week because I was doing 5 hours worth of Shakespeare that day.
Right then. So stuff. Well, I guess the easiest way to do this is to stupid computer. I guess the easiest way to do this is, hey KJ, cheers. Is let's just do the usual intro, which is to say, Alexandre, give us a thoughts and observations about recent history.
Thoughts and observations. Well, we spoke to the newly named origami dragon kid. Who told us that actually they're not here to protect us. They're here to find, retrieve, bring back Chevalier and Lucas.
Mm-hmm. How did that and how did that feel, for lack of a better way of putting it?
I mean, it's nice, but I mean, why? Not why are they doing it, but why does it have to be this way? And why them? And why? I just like all of the why questions, you know? Why them? Why does it have to be this way? Why not just do it?
Tell me why.
Well, exactly. That's my problem. And wait, where does the music
Spider,
come
like,
from?
Mhm.
But yes, in general, it's nice, but I don't want to be disappointed, and so I am not sure about that.
Yeah, makes sense. So, what if it was true?
Well, then that would be very good. I would like it.
Mm-hmm.
I also read the letter that Chevalier left. And I mostly disagree with him. But it was nice to read the letter. And I cried a lot.
All right.
And we talked about a lot of philosophy. And now I'm wondering what La Chanson is. Which I've never done before.
All right. Renishi. Summary of recent events. Thoughts? Philosophies?
Philosophies, I don't go by those. Too much like back and forth. You know what I mean? I like a solid answer. And the solid answer is I've come to the realization that I am coming to the end of my journey with these idiots. And well, I haven't processed my emotions with that yet.
Idiots.
Idiots. I just hello. I mean, at least I got to meet a dragon. Like, a dragon that is backwards aging. Like, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to get that published. Are you kidding me? It's going to be great.
No one's going to believe you? Are you kidding?
No one's going to believe me. Oh, no. Maybe I can draw a picture. No, I'm terrible at drawing.
I've got this really blurry sketch that I made.
Kind of looks like Bigfoot.
Last time I tried to draw, they couldn't tell if it was a volcano or a rock. Or a big rock. Or a bigger rock. Yes. I don't know. I think I'm going to be sad or am I going to be sad that I'm no longer going to have the experience of being with a dragon? I don't know. I'm still processing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Since the dragon was mentioned, my soul.
Well, I guess. I mean, you're right. Hang on.
Oh, do we have to?
Crunchy, crunchy,
6
crunchy,
whole
crunchy,
seconds of this.
Look, you stop it from being fun, and I'll think about it. It was explained to me at length that I had inadvertently misled this group about what our purpose is, what our objective is, and that my behavior was, as a result, unbecoming. My soul is a lot of things, but it does get a little irritating when he's right. So I apologized, explained better that we are here not to replace the ones that are lost, but to find them again, return them to their side. I do not expect this to be easy, but it is worth doing. And so we will. And if in return we get that what we desire, all the better, I suppose. I guess what he said.
Like to imagine Spider in the diary room, just like mind blank face on. And then just like, oh, did you guys see the big lizard?
So Spider, recent events in philosophy, please. If we can wake up enough to get there.
Literally a dragon.
Yeah.
It's about right.
Now, just a relatively small one. It's only about
Relatively small. He's 3 times taller than I am.
Yeah, that's relatively small for a dragon.
How many dragons have you seen, mate?
Answer the question, GM.
Allow me.
I'm sorry, phrase it in a yes or no question.
My reach is time spanning. I've seen all. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way.
I felt that in my soul, and I'm scared.
Do you still have a soul after that?
Stop talking to the documentary director. Noted. Weirdest Faustian pack ever.
I do have a legitimate question. It was this more like stand and talk, or are we doing the walk and talk?
We're doing the walk and talk.
Okay.
The old...
Because...
Well, okay, no, the original arrival of the dragon was, I don't fit anywhere except in this large cavern. Hang on while I origami for 6 seconds, where kid collapses in on itself.
Yeah, I remember
dragon
that.
unfolds, and then have a long conversation, and then they go to a corner, do in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out for about a minute, for about 5 minutes straight, which is really, really disconcerting. And then dragon toddles back over and says, "Oh, I fucked up, dog."
that is the TLDR, yes.
Up, man. Fucked up bad.
I got it.
I'm sorry.
So,
I'm
As
sorry.
long as we
fucked
are
up.
back on the road at this point, I think Spider's okay.
Yeah. We did also travel some.
Yes.
Yes.
In point of fact, you've traveled lots. So, in last session, in point of fact, you guys mechanically covered about 2 days of travel and have wound up at a, I keep wanting to say seaside, but it's not. It's a riverside town. So yeah, you folks, the discussion basically has amounted that Spider missed was Renamala said that there was essentially 2 ways to get where you're going. One of them was unpatrolled and remarkably dangerous, but fast. And then there was the way she figured probably made more sense for everyone to take, which is a little bit longer, well patrolled, and everyone can just kind of relax because the odds of getting jumped were pretty low. And given recent events, it was just like, something, low stress sounds really nice. Let's just do low stress, shall we? Yeah, we're doing low stress. We're done now. So yeah, it was basically 2 or 3 days of I'd have to go back and double check. It was a couple of days at most, 3 days. Yeah, 3 days at most. I think it's 2.5 really. And you folks had arrived at this little riverside town where literally the idea was to catch the underground equivalent of a paddle boat to head up to your underground destination.
Oh yeah, there was we had to be part. We there was a welcome sign because we crossed the border into the different houses' territory.
Yes, that is correct.
They had a legitimate welcome sign.
Yep. So
I feel so welcome. I feel so welcome.
Well, it was the hope. All right. So yeah, what I had mechanically discussed, essentially meta, if you will, is that if there was stuff that folks wanted to do, then we can talk about the travel. The town you folks are at, by the way, is called Emberwash, or that's what the translation is. I'll spare you the 11.5 apostrophe version, but the translation in Elven is Emberwash. And you folks are what I had worked out to be, what's that? You guys get 3 hexes a day by boat, so it would be 1, 2. You're 3 days from Violathar, which is your ultimate destination. Which is Violathar is the next place that has an elevator to the surface and is essentially under Dusseldorf, or close enough to it that it's a short walk under the sun to get there. All right. So the question, essentially, if you will, is whether or not you folks just want to fast forward, or if there's stuff you want to talk about as you make your way along. The trip by boat is going to be largely uneventful. I mean, I can describe what it's like to be on an underground boat, if it interests you. But I was, as a GM, I was noticing a bit of player fatigue with the location. So if it's time to be done with the Undervelt, we can kind of skip ahead of it. If you guys have got stuff you want to talk about while you're down here, got plenty of time for a scene.
No, I'm good.
For a moment there, it looked like I was watching 3 people wait for each other person to go first.
Well, that was essentially what was happening, yes.
No, that's not what was happening. I was looking around going, I have ADHD. I can speak for as long as I need to speak. Not that I should, but I can.
I think, given the circumstances, Spider is very much on, like, let's move as fast as we can. Paddle, paddle, paddle. Paddle, paddle, paddle.
Could you turn your mic up ever so slightly for me, please, Jamie?
Is that better? No, maybe? I need to keep talking? Is it different?
Actually, it's just the whole stream seems quiet. I just realized I've twice had to turn up my headphones.
Yeah. Okay.
Zoom or
it's everyone.
stream?
Okay. Well, whatever I get through, whatever I get, the stream gets. So.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you want all of us to turn up our mics?
No, you're good.
Okay.
I believe it is fine now.
Okay.
So fast. Is Spider completely silent?
I mean, not completely, but not going out of his way to make any small talk.
Alexandre does have a question for Spider then, although I think Sam just had a question. Okay. Alexandre would approach Spider.
I mean, we're on a boat. How big is this boat?
Oh, now you want details. First is fast. Now you want to dig in and get all kinds of details. Sure.
No, I just want to know how. You just said you want to approach me. I'm like, I thought we were just sitting next to each other on a boat.
Yeah, no, this is so just for perspective, this river is probably 30 to 40 meters across. just big enough that it shows up on a map where the hexes are 20 kilometers from side to side. So this is a substantial body of water, and so the boat itself is probably 4 meters, 5 meters wide, and 15 odd meter long, 20-meter long. It's a paddle boat. They have a couple. It's a caterpillar drive engine, which is to say they have 3 large caterpillars on treadmills turning a paddle wheel.
The Underworld Queen.
Yeah, something like that.
I feel like of all the details that I could have received, that wasn't the one that I wanted.
Yes, but they're fuzzy caterpillars. They're cute.
Yeah, but they also have to be quite large in order to move a boat, in which case anything more than...
They're jacked.
I have...
They're doing weights all day.
Do you even catter, dude?
I do not cat or dude.
It's a
They've got two dozen pairs of biceps.
Spider, this is gross.
Yep. So you're looking at basically 3 draft horse sized caterpillars, which is interesting because it means that when they're all walking, even there's just it's this vague pattering noise in the back behind you, because caterpillars got 21 legs on average, I think. So
I refuse to believe that caterpillars have an odd number of legs.
They do, actually, most of them.
I said 21 pairs.
Because they lose them.
No, but these are nautical caterpillars, so one of them's missing a leg. As an eye patch.
And is it replaced by a wooden peg?
Yes, exactly. So you hear punk, punk, punk every time the wooden leg hits the treadmill.
I love it. I hate it, but I love it.
You're welcome.
That's
what
this
I'm
game,
here for.
Isn't it? Really, I hate it, but I love it. What am I supposed to do? Spider, let me think of something more horrifying than this situation. Please.
You're right, mate.
Do you think we're actually going to be able to find them, Lucas?
I mean, if he's at that volcano, I imagine it's pretty hard to miss.
But I don't think we're supposed to get to that point.
Don't you?
No, I don't.
My brother jumped through a portal right outside that damn mountain. And my guess is that he's being held there. So that's where I'm going.
But why would he be riding next to someone?
Well, whatever that image was, we can only assume that's yet to come.
Yes, so my point is...
He went through the portal there. So that's where he'll be.
And Chevalier?
I have to be honest, that one I'm a little bit more perplexed by.
Me too.
You've still got his face, right?
Yes. What?
I mean, good.
God.
Just keep a hold of it, is all I'm saying.
I think there's more important things than his face.
Well, it's the only thing what's left of him.
No?
Physically, obviously, Chevalier lives on in all of our hearts.
You... there is, I have, it's more, there is more to him than that.
I'm so confused.
That I
like, what
have.
do you... I watched him disintegrate in front of me. What do you mean?
Not all of him. I have his soul?
Oh, right. You have his soul. I understand. Of course.
No, don't talk to me like that. Don't look at me like that. That's not what I mean. She takes out she just sort of takes out the box.
It's a nice box.
Yes. It's his soul.
Okay.
No, really.
No, I
It
believe
is.
there are so many things since meeting you that I do not understand. And if you say that is his soul, I believe you.
She doesn't show him the things inside,
attraction
but she
towards
opens the lid and she shows him the inscription.
What is that? Does it say something?
Mm-hmm. What does it say, Sam? Do you know off the top of your head?
Does it say
To
something in a
to
language-
Alexandre, one of the few of whom I would trust with my heart and soul.
Is it in a language Spider can read?
I imagine it's just in whatever the equivalent of common is, or possibly maybe Elven.
English.
Yeah. Okay. So I can sort of read it. Yes. Okay. Again, I believe you. Keep a hold of it. Because if a dragon told you it's going to bring your friend back, it probably will.
If we can find where he is.
Well, I think that's more on you.
What?
You're the one with the singing compass inside your head, miss.
Such a way with words. She puts the box away.
I'm not trying to be glib. I do hope the song can bring back Chevalier. Mostly because he was the only one who knew how to keep you under control, but you know.
I'm sorry, what?
Renashi, can you take over for me for this?
Sorry, I can't hear you. I'm reading.
I'm sorry, what?
At which point Mala will look up from her book, look over at her sister and say, what he clearly said loudly was that he would like you to take over for her because he managed to put his foot in his mouth again with Sing Song Girl. Okay, off you go. He goes back to her book.
That rock over there looks really interesting.
Does it?
Just look at the way that it. I mean, I didn't hear you.
Myself, take over from here.
The top of the rock it turns around, looks at you, blinks, goes back to looking the other way.
Oh, God. I hate it when they do that.
Hate it when those rocks look at me. You didn't like it with books, you don't like it with rocks. What's okay to look at you?
Do you want to know the answer to that?
Idea. Myself, take over.
Just so I'm clear, you want me to take over for you, and you want she to take over for you. So we're going to have the same conversation, just in your place. Know how useful that
Come
is.
on, Mysel, let's do it. You want Alexandria? I can do a great Alexandria. Let me do it.
No, you don't have to take over the
Look at
conversation.
me.
What?
I am so sexy. People, when they're trying to go upstairs, I stand in front of them with my large bottom.
I mean,
you started out strong.
What color do ebon elves blush?
Oh.
a deep, deep purple.
Actually, no, they pale. It's the opposite response.
Shit, did someone ask me a question and I just missed it?
No.
No, okay. Cool.
No, we were
I
waiting
think
for you
everyone
to
in the
finish
boat's
blushing.
looking at you suddenly.
Listen, I'm used to people just staring at my beautiful visage, but like, what?
Was that still an Alexandria impression?
Yes. Isn't it great? No, don't compare me to Alexandria.
Wow, you just went from like
Stop.
0 to 100. That's wow. Okay.
And
Alright.
scene?
I think so. Yeah, she's going back to the rock. She's not.
She's focused on
The rock is interesting now.
I like rock. Just naming
Rock
things
is
you see in the
good.
room. I like rock.
Feeling.
The rock's just waving.
Yeah, I was just Dwayne Johnson over there reading a book, right? So yeah, all right. The next couple of days are going to be relatively peaceful. There are going to be a couple of moments where something tries to crawl up out of the river, and you folks are all obligated to perfunctorily at least to whack it with sticks until it decides to go back in the river. But all right, you can't use fireballs down here. You'd set the boat on fire, so you have to whack it with a stick. So is the catch.
Could I melt it?
The boat, yes.
The thing.
Oh, no, it's not plastic. I believe there was also something about roses that needed to get rolled for.
Yes.
A potted rose, I think you were working on. Is that not correct?
A potted rose. Probably a bagged rose. I doubt she'd have a pot. That's a little bit too much to carry, and Alexandria couldn't do that.
No pot, just a baggie.
You know how it is. I rolled a nat 20 and I get to roll again.
Wow.
$40.
What?
I rolled a 40.
Good grief. All right.
It's almost
So-
2 rows.
So exactly what do you want this rose to be?
The rose
I mean, with a
looks
40
into you.
I'm just going to say, I mean, a 40 basically gets into the range of game breaking. So yeah, what do you want?
What are your demands?
The universe bows down to you.
It's about time. I wish I were doing something other than what I'm doing now, because quite frankly, this is cool, but like a 40, So what she's done is taken the original, the rose that she gave her, and she has, and Alexandria has, because that's confusing, grown another of the roses that she created in the infraspectrum,
All right. Yeah.
and essentially done a cutting of them to make them a consistently living thing. So out of the one stalk, both can exist.
All right.
And rather than having something that can't exist really, so would die eventually, is something that could be propagated technically if someone tried, but doesn't
Yeah.
need necessarily daylight to do so.
All right.
She's giving the underworld roses.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's very cool, actually. I like that. So, yes. Random bit of trivia, by the way, for those folks who think were wondering how roses could grow in the Underdark without sunlight. It turns out that they've discovered an entire genus of plant life that photosynthesize in infrared light. They live around volcanic oceanic vents. So because the water at those temperatures is 400 to 500 degrees, it fluoresces in the infrared. And so there's an entire class of plant which is adopted to live under infrared photosynthesis. So yeah, you have a rose which can use either sunlight or just the heat of the world around it to live.
Wonderful. At some point, she will then go to both Mala and she and offer said plant. Take it. No, just.
Here, take this plant. It's nothing to do with. I don't go away.
No,
Well,
seriously,
you-
what's Alexandria? What's set the scene for us, please?
Okay. Probably after they've got off the boat.
Sure. So you guys are at that point. You folks would be in Vielithar. So I'll give you the song and dance about Vielithar later. But yeah. So but mechanically, you guys would have arrived in Vielithar.
And she would, when it is quiet-ish and not much is really going on, she would just go to Mala and she and sort of hold out this bagged plant and say, you got us this far. And I mean, I can't necessarily see all of the buds when I don't wear the glasses, but you don't have roses down here, and you should probably have things that are like them, or things that are pretty down here. And it's a gift.
So you're giving back the gift that I gave you, and you just called us ugly.
I think
Giving-
Maul is developing a migraine.
As she says that, she is also taking the gift.
Of course she is, yeah. I am giving you back the gift you gave me. And I am saying you should have pretty things down here.
Thank you.
That aren't elves?
Okay. And she'll like look at it for a little bit.
Thank you for not dying.
Repeatedly.
I hope you can get the things you need done. I'm not good at this, Mala.
What? You seem to be doing just fine. Keep going.
No, you know I'm not.
No, you're doing great. Keep going.
I'm sorry. Sorry bad things happened. We didn't want that at all.
Bad things happen everywhere.
Yes, but as much as we try not to let them happen here with us. So I'm sorry, but I also have a feeling that, I don't know, you're really stubborn, so whatever you want to happen is probably going to happen.
That was a compliment, by the way, says.
Shut up, Mala. God damn it.
You said you needed help.
A lot of people have called me stubborn. It's not incorrect.
Well, yes, it is a compliment.
Thank you.
Hey, Spider, I never really actually kind of saw you climb on walls, so are you going to ever do that, or... There's a rock.
Is that another one of those not rocks?
No,
Is this one
says
a
the rock.
Are we
Infinitely less interesting.
are we like are we back in the town? Like, sorry, have we arrived in the town, or is this?
Yes. So
outside of it?
so you folks have arrived in Vielathar. Vielathar is another. It's a sprawling, massive cavern. It's probably from southwest to northeast, damn near 60 kilometers. The southern extent is the town of Vielathar. So literally there's actually no overland. Well, there's a small minor overland route, but it's awkward to get through. So the primary way in and out of Vielathar is by water. The lake itself is probably the better part of 400 square kilometers, just to give you an idea. 400 to 600 square kilometers. It's a huge, vast body of water. And there's the most of the cave is the vault on the cave is probably at least 100 meters, 200 meters in some places. So it kind of vanishes up almost to the edge of your sight.
All right.
And the water here is bioluminescent. In fact, as you guys are coming up the river, because the water is flowing against the direction of travel. So the water, if you will, is flowing towards the south. You folks are largely heading towards the north. And so when you're the vessel captain, it's a crew of 3. The teamster who keeps the caterpillars running. One fellow whose job is basically just keeping an eye on actually steering and that sort, and the third person, a woman whose job is she's the actual vessel mistress, mostly occupying herself with doing, fairly regular walkarounds, checking cargo, checking the sides of the vessel for anything that's hitching a ride or that sort of thing. As well as just making sure that nothing has moved, there haven't been any cave-ins or whatever. She spends a lot of time up towards the bow of the vessel, peering ahead into the darkness, with some sort of a magical spyglass. And then every once in a while shouting back to the person who's steering, about, a little bit more to the left, a little bit more to the right. But probably, an hour before you folks actually come into the lake cavern proper, you start to notice that the wake of the boat begins to glow. These little iridescent, opalescent sort of curls lapping along behind, and the effect intensifies as you actually come into the lake proper. There are dolphin-sized squid that kind of are playing around the boat as you guys are making it its way. At least once, one of them thinks it's really, really funny to grab onto the paddle wheel and go around. Because,
Those cute squid.
Well, it's a cephalopod. It fits in, no matter what you try and do, it fits in the gap between the paddle and the boat. So it just makes a really scream squeaky noise when it goes around. And so at one point, there's 3 of them going for rides in the paddle wheel, which is doing a great job of slowing the whole thing down, which results in several moments of throwing fish overboard. Which results in the squid deciding, okay, we'll go play. Hey, wait a second, free lunch, and off they go. They let go of the paddle wheel. The boat picks up speed, and there's some splashing and stuff. So yeah. So one of the vessel mistress finds this all very amusing. The helmsman complains bitterly about racketeering squalfins, and yeah, So yeah, Vialathar is at least as big as Marshashal. It's a set of 2 hills. Fairly steep slope coming up from the lake, bustling place, busy fishing industry from the looks of it. Yours is not the only vessel tied up. There's probably spaces here for 20 odd vessels of various sizes. Everything seems to be about the same size, plus or minus a couple of meters in any given direction to the one you're on, but 50, anything probably. I think your vessel, as I said, was somewhere in the 15 to 20 meter range. So, the docks would accommodate something all the way up to 25 meters probably. They all seem to be Caterpillar drives. And so you folks hike in through the town. It is a very cosmopolitan-looking place in a way that Marshashal was not. Marshashal was very much.
How do you spell Vialathar?
Hang on, I will post it to chat because I just actually wrote it down somewhere else. Just so it's just easier. I'll literally just grab it and copy paste it. It's on the map, but yeah, hang on, I'll post it in chat just to make things easier.
Thank you. And I can hide it in my notes, or I'll never see it again. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah. And I think what's sort of got all of your attention, because you know what to look for, if you will, is the spire-like structure towards the back of the town. Obviously, elven construction that reaches from cavern floor to cavern ceiling. That would be the elevator.
Are you two going to come up with us? Or are you going to stay here?
Mala is going to shrug, and I suppose we can ride the elevator with you if you like, but I mean, literally, we wouldn't go much further than the top of the elevator.
I don't like Skyside, but I guess.
So, in the middle of all this awkward, says Mala, let me try this a different way. Alexandri and Spider, would you like us to accompany you to the top of the elevator?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess we're going to the top of the elevator then. Spider doesn't seem to have an opinion, and Alexandria said yes. Off we go.
What were you saying, Jamie? Because you asked a question before then.
Oh, I Yeah, she asked me about climbing on the wall, but then we got sidetracked, so I'm not sure how to.
So in the background of this conversation, Spider's doing some really impressive climbing that she does not see.
She does not see
As
any
usual.
of.
Spider is literally hanging from the cavern roof 200 meters up. That's why I have no opinion. I didn't hear the conversation. It's like, this is Spider?
Oh shit, he's not lying.
That is the other thing he is good at, but it wasn't in the game.
But also, she hasn't seen that. So, should we take a break here?
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, don't forget, by the way, life down here is offset from life up there by 12 hours. So if we get to the top of the elevator anytime in the next 4 hours, it's going to be pitch dark for you.
We could get something to eat.
It's a good one.
I like.
Yeah, sure. Hang on. What's a good? This way, I think. So it's been a while since I've been to Thar. So, but I think there's a really good P&B over this way. Come on, let's see. Let's see if it's still there.
Okay. Should we grab a break, Michelle?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okie dokie. We shall be back in some minutes.
Bye. See you again soon. My name is Michel Vaillancourt. I'm the games master and storyteller for Unlawful Disorder. I've been asked to give a summary of events of the game, but that seems a little strange because, well, that's the job of the players. Don't ask me what the story is, I'm just the guy telling it. So, let's talk about how we got here. So, about a year ago, I saw a bunch of really talented people doing some really cool stuff, and I thought, well, that's cool, I'll have to keep them in mind. And a little while after that, I got a call from a roleplay channel asking me to set up a game. They wanted a European time zone friendly game. So I went back and I called up the cool people doing the cool stuff. So that would be Chantel and company. Cool. So, after that, we took a little bit of time, discussed a good D&D campaign, and I brought forward one of my homebrew worlds. And they looked at me and said, no.
No, I don't do the magic. Alexandra does the magic, but she doesn't know what she's doing.
She inverts people?
She makes their insides their outsides. Sometimes.
So she is either very good or very bad.
She's also literally transported me to my worst nightmare.
That's pretty impressive.
It was an accident, and she didn't know how she did it, or if she did it, but she did.
What flavor exactly was my milkshake?
The shankings will continue until morale improves.
What milkshake?
I won.
Jasper brought me two, and they both said Lucas on them, so I don't know what you're talking about.
That's strange, because Jasper told me that he got me a milkshake.
Oh, he did?
It'd be strange to... Yes, he did.
It would be. That's really strange. I don't know why he would do that.
I mean, I haven't known you for that long, but I could take a solid guess.
So what is it that you can do properly?
I can do.
Yes.
Well, I mean...
This is a lot of time you're taking.
My name is Michel Vaillancourt. I'm the games master and storyteller for Unlawful Disorder. I've been asked to give a summary of events of the game, but that seems a little strange because, well, that's the job of the players. Don't ask me what the story is, I'm just the guy telling it. So, let's talk about how we got here. So, about a year ago, I saw a bunch of really talented people doing some really cool stuff, and I thought, well, that's cool, I'll have to keep them in mind. And a little while after that, I got a call from a roleplay channel asking me to set up a game. They wanted a European time zone friendly game. So I went back and I called up the cool people doing the cool stuff. So that would be Chantel and company. Cool. So, after that, we took a little bit of time, discussed a good D&D campaign, and I brought forward one of my homebrew worlds. And they looked at me and said, no.
No, I don't do the magic. Alexandra does the magic, but she doesn't know what she's doing.
She inverts people?
She makes their insides their outsides. Sometimes.
So she is either very good or very bad.
She's also literally transported me to my worst nightmare.
That's pretty impressive.
It was an accident, and she didn't know how she did it, or if she did it. But she did.
What flavor exactly was my milkshake?
The shankings will continue until morale improves.
What milkshake?
My one.
Jasper brought me two, and they both said Lucas on them. So I don't know what you're talking about.
That's strange, because Jasper told me that he got me a milkshake.
Oh, he did.
It'd be strange to... Yes, he did.
It would be. That's really strange. I don't know why he would do that.
I mean, I haven't known you for that long, but I could take a solid guess.
So what is it that you can do properly?
I can do.
Yes.
Well, I mean...
This is a lot of time you're taking.
We have returned. Hello.
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 When last we left, our intrepid heroes.
We're considering having a bug meal. Instead of going to the surface and having a normal meal.
What?
Way too much
I mean,
food.
it'd be like the middle of the night, nothing would be open.
I mean,
So we eat bugs again? Just one last
freshly sliced squalfin with a side. Never mind.
Ew.
And if they're not endangered, that sounds amazing.
That's just calamari. It's just cuter calamari, right?
You can have my portion.
Squeaks when you...
It's calamari with a squeaky toy.
If it's cooked well, calamari is still not okay, but tolerable.
Yes, calamari not cooked okay is kind of like gasket rubber.
May as well just be. Yes, it does slap when it's alive. Lazuli, calamari does slap. As long as I'm not eating it. You have my share, please.
It slaps, it clings, it complains bitterly. Yeah. So yeah.
Fights you back.
It slap, it plap, and when you eat, you need a nap.
No, that's my Friday night. I'm leaving.
Yep,
No, I lock. I lock. You leave.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are Lost Worlds Archive,
And this is Friday night.
Oh shit.
Good night. Quick look at one.
So we're going to get food instead of take a nap. Why?
I don't know. You said you were hungry.
You
I didn't say I was hungry.
What's Elven for Peculiar dos?
Porque los dos.
But like, give it an English twang, so like, porque
los dos.
And add some extra apostrophes. Yeah.
Porque
My
los
brain
dos.
my brain went to pork cano.
Is that a tornado with pigs?
Or a volcano that erupts pigs.
Sorry, I've
Sorry,
seen enough
Chantal,
pig-
what do you think a pig makes?
Well, if you fire it fast enough.
It was a distressed pig. I'm not going to just make a random pig noise. It's got to be a distressed.
That's what a pig sounds like at high speed.
That's what they sound
Well, I
like
was
when
just
they're
gonna-
catapulted. It's
That's
kind of
the
like
Doppler effect
Realistic
on a pig.
on an oink, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It's like
Yeah,
if you...
it's Doppler shifted oink. I mean,
Absolutely. In the same way that, like...
How did
if
you not pick up on that?
Yeah. It's the same as a small dog.
I'm sorry. Did I just say Doppler shifted oink? Hang on a second here. How did we get here?
A new album by Simple Plan.
I find it's
Voice
easier not to
acting,
keep
that's
track.
how we got here. Sometimes the special effects just need to be voices. That's when people call me because I'm weird.
Compared to what?
What do you mean weird compared to what? I just am the bass. The baseline.
Wob, 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 wob.
Like, we talk about height in Chantel's.
We
It's
shall not
also
drop
weirdness
bass.
on a scale of Chantel.
Wait, wouldn't that mean that you would be one Chantel of weirdness?
Correct.
That's not the base. That's the starting point.
Except that it's... No.
No, you're right.
It's,
I just heard the words I said, and
I mean, I'm not only the base
I
of...
think I just agreed with you. Hang on.
It's either the base or it's like every other Chantel is
The
below
starting line.
one.
It's the beginning.
No, it's...
My brain was like, "Dad, it's really silly." I was like, "Those are the same thing." Your Spider-Man pointing at self meme.
You ever just try to make a two-person meme by yourself?
I just don't want to hear about your personal life
Wait,
that much.
you just
I
need
don't.
Alexandre.
Yeah,
Please save us,
I just
Michelle,
got
with
nothing
story.
safe.
Please save us with story.
No, that's just not possible, I'm sure.
Hasn't helped yet.
It has not helped yet, no.
We're not going to the surface. I'm saving us with story. I'm afraid. I heard dice.
So there. Wow, what to do with Doppler shifted oink? I'm still trying. No, just put it down, Michelle, before you hurt yourself.
We'll think about it later.
All right, so yeah, you folks will find a smallish. No, bugger off. Sorry about that, folks. You folks will find a small hole in the wallish, mom and pop grade. Well, it's not P and B because that would imply that there would be a B. It's just the P, which is the pub part. That essentially does the equivalent of fast fried everything.
I want one of those in real life.
So, and it's to me, part of the quintessential English experience as a tourist was actually strolling around London and getting my dad to buy me a thing of fish and chips wrapped up in newspaper, right?
That's how it should be. It's so good.
Well, and the funny thing is we actually have a Brit expat couple who moved here in 1946 here in Charlottetown, and they set up the family business, which was a chippy.
Yeah.
It's now Brits Fish and Chips. And part of the idea of getting fish and chips there is you have to actually specify what kind of fish you want. And because there's about 6 different things they can put into it, because cod is so expensive in Canada right now, if you actually do cod, cod is now literally the premium food as opposed to the garbage fish that you feed to everybody on a street corner in London.
The same thing happened in Australia, and I just think it's a loss of traditional British values, like it's just awful.
Although,
I mean,
I'll always respect
want to
the
talk
habit.
about traditional British values?
I was politely ignoring
I take it back.
Only in response to my enjoyment of fried cod.
Yeah. So anyway, one of the things they do is deep fried Mars bars.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Scottish.
That's standard. That's not
I
even
know,
English.
but
yeah.
Yeah, I know, but just there's deep fried. There's something else they've got on the menu, but anyway, there are two items.
I mean, Scottish is basically English.
No. Did you just? Oh my god!
The 0.3% of me that is Scottish literally wants to right then.
I felt it. How did I miss it?
Rage in the form of a kilt.
How could you?
Wait, did you just say you wear a kilt, Nadine?
No, I said I felt rage in the form of a kilt. 1,000 bagpipes just went in my head.
It's like 1,000 people went, "Ugh," and then went
Best
silent.
friend's married to a Scot? That's not...
I'm just going to say, at this point, they're going to burn down Kent on you. Don't stop that, mate.
It's alright, Kent can be burnt down.
Oh, Kent.
Every English person went, oh no.
Yeah.
We can trade that one, that's fine.
You can, yeah.
It's like, I'm going to wipe Liverpool off the map. Oh, don't.
Oh, no, please don't. Don't do it. We do love... I can't even joke.
Love the
Anyway,
Scousers.
so this is sort of that kind of place. It's the catch is, of course, is that they're literally using a volcano to run the fryers. Like most places that have got any attempt at civilization, there are three critical ingredients for life in the underbelt. One of them is air, one of them is water, and one of them is a volcano, or a geothermal source of some kind, right? Because burning wood or burning anything down here is a dubious process at the best of days. The whole place, the entire place of Veilithars, if you will, the equivalent of sort of this Icelandic terrainscape, if you will, with all these little geothermal vents popped up around it, and in some cases with a building built around the geothermal vent because that's what they're using for the hot water or whatever, and you saw this at Fickle Waters, where the bread house was literally sitting over beside by the geothermal source. They were using the heat from that to run the bread ovens, right? Same idea around here. Interesting little place. Food's pretty good.
Oh no, sorry. I just reacted to Lazuli's comment about the chewier fish cake usually served fried with spicy sweet tamarind sauce. I had a visceral reaction to it. I'm sorry. That was tamarind. Just I thank you. Thank you for.
You can
making my mouth water with
hear. Yeah, you can hear the salivation happening right now.
I miss tamarind.
Shawnee just choked on their own saliva. Like, tamarind sauce is just really
good. So good. Continue, please. I'm sorry.
Sure. So you folks are all seated around a table off to one side. There's a lineup. You're practically the only ones actually sitting down in the place. Everyone else is popping in, grabbing takeout, and heading back to their various jobs, basically grabbing lunches. So there's this sort of constant background buzz ticking away. I was about to say there's constant background buzz ticking away in the background, but it's pretty much repetitive and redundant. So yeah, things are going pretty well. You're
Sorry, repetitive what's ticking away in the background?
Oh, there's this what I said was this background buzz ticking away in the background as people are coming and going and chit-chatting, people picking up their lunches. In some cases, they just walk in and one of the two proprietors just grab a bag and pass it to them like it had already been cooked before. They didn't even have to place an order; they just got passed the bag. Right. Obviously, this is a busy place, and yeah. So yeah, lunch hour here, midnight there.
So what's next for you two?
Traveling back?
Mala kind of rubs at her forehead and takes a bite out of something suspiciously crunchy. Well, suspiciously crunchy from Alexander's perspective, anyway. Well, I suppose we'll check in with Claravan here and find out if there's any work, and if we'll find out where we're going after this. I know that she's going to want to get home, so if there's she may be heading one way and I may be heading the other. We'll find out after we've talked to Claravan.
Well, we'll try not to let the world destroy itself while you do that.
No, appreciate that.
Oh.
So I guess we're going to go on saving.
Why would you promise that?
I didn't promise anything. I said we'll try.
Sounds like a promise. To try.
Were you thinking of not trying?
Stop pretending.
That's exactly what Mala was about to say, and she just points at my like that.
No, I just don't. It's a lot of responsibility.
To try?
Well, trying suggests that you understand everything you're going to do.
Oh no, I try everything and I have no understanding of anything.
I can confirm that.
Okay.
Wow.
Take a moment because we've just now have a much deeper understanding of Alexandre.
And Maul is going to take a sip of It's sort of this vinegar cider. It's a very bitter, very sharp tasting drink. Goes pretty well with the crunchy sweet sour of whatever it is that Mala, by the way, just ordered. She put food in front of you and said, "Don't ask any questions." So yeah, it comes. It is a sour tasting. It's a medium batter wrapping a slightly sourish tasting meat with a sweet dipping sauce, and then you get this sort of vinegar cider to wash it down, and somehow it actually winds up tasting good, and you're not really sure why.
I mean, I'm imagining a savory seafood warhead.
I hate that.
I'm not overly happy with it either.
It tastes good. The somehow it tastes good part, Sam.
Warheads, so
Is it when you have a warhead and you're like, this is vile, and then you get to the sweet bit and you're like, oh,
this is subpar.
Okay.
I survived
because
that.
It's so much nicer than the previous.
Mildly better.
Hey man, that's like me every day. So.
Mildly better. Yeah, that's okay.
I salivate over mildly better.
Yeah, just got nothing safe to say. So
Mysore also, for reference, did not ask questions and did eat. It was just like, all right.
Yeah, Spider's been doing that the whole trip, I think. So.
Alexandri's trying.
And Maul is going to kind of pause for a moment, take a sip of her cider, and say, "Yeah, that's the thing about getting stuck with saving the world. Even little parts of it, you've no idea what that means until after, sometimes until years after you've done it. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try, though."
Have you saved the world?
Try and save the world every time I leave a town. I try and save somebody's world at least. I'd like to think in some way I've at least partially saved yours.
I would say so, actually.
That's the thing, right? Everyone thinks the world has got to be this big, massive place. Sometimes the world is just a single person. Because to them, that's everything they've got. So I try and save a world every day. If I can do that, it's been a good day.
It's a really nice sentiment, Mala. There's also a giant orcish war horde, so there's that. But
well, yeah, I mean,
get what you're saying.
Oh yeah, no, trust me. That there are some things which are issues of scale. I probably need to bring an extra quiver of arrows for that.
Just one.
Oh yeah. The mistake everyone makes is trying to kill the guy up front. You don't kill him. You shoot the guy yelling orders. You do that about 8 times, and no one wants to give orders in again, and then it stops being an army.
One of those is Lucas.
Well. Maybe.
So you shoot the guy beside Lucas. Lucas seemed to be a good fellow. Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Lucas seemed to be a good person, right? Seemed to be looking out for you two. Always seemed to be walking in the way of walking in the way of the things that no one else would walk in the way of. So if he's genuinely a good person and he's doing something bad, it's because he doesn't have a choice, or he thinks he doesn't have a choice. Probably has something to do with the blonde cloud elf. So I figure you put 1 arrow in each eye socket, 1 in the nose, just to be sure. Then, well, he's not a problem anymore, and Lucas can go back to doing what Lucas likes to do. I'd be stupid to fight an army. I'm really good at shooting generals. She giggles.
I'd like to give her anything. She's really good at shooting everything.
I've never understood people who spend hours on an archery range getting really, really good at shooting a target that big and then shoot the middle of an orc soldier or some poor schlep who's just there to collect a paycheck. Shoot the bastard behind him who's giving the orders. Solves all the problems.
So what are your moves afterwards? You resurface at Düsseldorf and what? Keep following the song?
Look sort of like sheepishly at Alexandra.
It's funny because you come down here and, well, our way of living is you listen to the ones who are smart, which are normally the women. And up there you say that you're different, but yet you're always looking at Alexandria for help.
I'm not looking for help. She's got a singing compass in her head.
Yes, but...
Also, people aren't really that different. No matter where they are.
You mean
Goes
I
back
could
to
be a
eating.
dragon? I could be a dragon.
Well, no. I mean,
Well-
maybe you can. I don't know.
I mean, you could
But-
be a crow, you could be a dragon. A small one. A very small
Oh,
one.
that is a very good note. And she's gonna like get a book and be like, I'm going to try that. I've seen a dragon now. Maybe I could be a dragon.
There's a moment of Master being like, that wasn't my point, but all right. That's fine.
That wasn't my point, but I can't stop you now.
You just see the note. Metamorphosis may end in death.
Question mark.
It may end in death?
Will I become two people? No. May involve
Arrow,
folding.
may end in death? Question mark with an arrow. Check back on this later. Need to resolve.
Spider. If we found Lucas at Dusseldorf, would the two of you just continue on your journey?
I mean, our grandfather's alive out there. And if Lucas hadn't got himself lost, then that's where we'd be headed. Wherever that is.
Well, exactly.
And the only lead we have to go off is the song inside your head. That Lucas could also hear. Or I don't understand how it worked. But if there's one thing I've learned over the last month and a half, there's too much convergence for any of it to be a coincidence. So, I mean, yes, but I doubt that we would abandon you if that's what you mean.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah, you're stuck with me. Sorry about that.
Okay.
My soul. Can hear bring back the dead?
I don't think so.
No, I didn't think so either.
I don't know if. I mean, that's a pretty big. I don't know how anyone would do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been around longer than anyone I know, so if you don't know,
But I mean, Hale said that just because a Praetorian is dead doesn't mean it's been killed. So that still doesn't make any sense to me. No, it's the other way. Just because a Praetorian has been killed doesn't mean the Praetorian is dead.
That makes
Oh, that makes much more sense.
yeah.
But that doesn't make sense to me still. So maybe it's not about bringing him back from the dead.
Well, you were talking about having his soul, weren't you?
Yes.
Well, people's soul doesn't usually hang around after they die.
How do you know? Have you died?
People have. I
Oh
mean,
my God, Alexander,
kind
you
of-
can't just ask people if they've died.
Why not?
people have like an essence. You can call it a soul, or you can call it just their being. Had different names over the years. And it's kind of contained within their body. But when they die, it's released. But you're saying that when Chevalier died, he put it in a box and gave it to you. Which I guess, given that he was artificial, I mean, for everyone else, their body and their essence are intertwined because they come into creation at the same time. You can't have one without the other. But with an artificial being, I guess you could make the body and then make the essence separate and then put them together. Maybe. I mean, I've not created a sentient artificial being either, so.
You know who might have?
Sorry, I wasn't sure if that was a question or a lead into you telling us.
Yes.
Oh, no, I was asking you. I mean, again,
Oh.
older than anyone else. I've been around longer than anyone I've met before.
I mean, not offhand, but like I said, sometimes it takes me a little while to remember stuff.
I wonder if Hio knows.
Maybe.
Probably don't turn into a dragon in here.
Yes, thank you. I was almost gonna make that mistake after.
I don't know. You're 12.
Yeah, fair.
Mala points out conversation. Yes, but he's got what, 100 or 200 years practice at being 12? I think he's probably screwed that one up a few times already. Probably's got a cold.
Yes, but when I was 12, I was a...
I mean, we put a
I
lot
would
of
not
effort
give
into
me-
making sure people forgot about us, so, you know. You don't do
wouldn't
that
have
by
given
suddenly
12-year-old
turning into a dragon.
Don't give... It's too much. Just don't turn into a dragon here. Now.
I will try not to.
I like you, kid.
I like you too. I like all of you. You're great.
Why?
Which part?
All of it.
Are you still doubting his...
I'm
Why are you so doubtful of him?
confused.
Them. Both of them.
No, just my soul.
Just my soul?
Yes. Because
You'll
people
confuse
don't
it.
like me, so I don't understand why he does.
Why do you think people don't like you?
Because I'm me.
Well, no, it's because it's easier for her to deal with people if she doesn't have to pretend that they like her. She doesn't have to be quite so considerate of their feelings if they already don't like her. Mala says and has another sip of her drink.
That feels self-fulfilling.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
We've spoken about this. You have to let people grow, let them realize things. You can't just state these things.
Well, yeah, but they're leaving in 20 minutes, so at that point, I
Ugh.
figure it was about the last chance I had.
Sorry for my sister once again during this trip.
I already gave you a gift. It's too late to take it back now.
Well, technically, you gave back my gift, so I could technically give yours back.
In theory, I could probably melt it.
And you'll see, like, uncharacteristically, she goes, "No! I mean, I have to propagate it and stuff."
You like it?
You can see she is fighting with herself. She's like, I appreciate the gift.
Okay. I'm glad.
Good. Anyway, back to how you deal with your emotions.
No.
Oh. Maisel, you like Chantal? Alexandre?
Oh no,
Where's
Chantel's
Chantal?
the worst.
That Chantel, she's a bitch. No, I'm glad I left her at home.
She's one of them, right? Points upwards at the 5 windows that float above them.
Do you know all the stupid things they've made me do?
Maisel, we don't talk about
I hate the Chantal system. I much
They got
prefer the
me
metric
drunk.
system.
I was gonna say, please hold as we flail wildly on the fourth wall.
Maisel, give a reason why you like Alexandre.
He did that
Well-
already, says Mala.
She's nice, even though apparently she doesn't think she is. She knows what she's doing is probably going to be hard, but she's doing it anyway
Okay, you can
because
stop.
she has to do it for the people she cares about.
Okay,
Fantastic.
You can stop now.
And now, Alexandre, this is the important bit. Now you say something nice about Maisel.
I know how to be nice to people.
Do you?
Do you like the rose or not?
Yes, I do, but that is like, that's
Because
uncharacteristic
that's me being
of you.
nice.
You could do that more often. Many more people would. Don't do too much because people do that thing where they like take advantage of you if you're nice. I
That's
don't
exactly
like
the
it.
point, right? If,
No, but
either
you
you're
can't
too
live
nice
in
and people
fear
take
of
advantage
that.
of you, or you're not nice at all and
If you
people
two
take
are done
advantage of you.
flirting, we got to make tracks.
Flirting? Absolutely not.
Maisel, I like that you are 12,
What?
and so you are younger than me, but at the same time,
Get to it.
you are a lot older, and so you don't act like you are 12.
You're almost there.
What? I like that.
You like that he's younger than you, but he doesn't
Mala-
act younger than you.
Yes.
Mala casually leans over and shoves a bread roll into her sister's mouth.
Oh, God, why is this so sad?
He sort of acts like he's my age, and that's different.
She just does that.
I think.
Spider, you said something nice about me.
Oh, look, I'm very good at lying, but not that good.
You know what? I'm gonna take that as a compliment. I don't know why I should, but I feel like my feelings are hurt. So I'm going to do that.
that entire gif of the guy in the audience.
I have very much appreciated having both of your company on this leg of our journey, and I regret that the rest has to take place up there. Otherwise, I'd ask you to join us.
I regret that you have to go back up there.
Yeah, I was kind of getting used to it, actually. It's kind of nice down here.
See, Alexandria?
The food's really good, too.
I miss the sky too much.
Maul is going to give you a very odd look and say, I actually understand what you mean.
You miss the sky too?
No, when I'm up there, I miss the I miss the darkness. Everything's just so weird without a roof.
Everything's weird with one.
Yeah, for me, it's comforting. There's a limit to everything. Oh, we have trees down here. They've got murderous little buggy things hanging off them most of the time, but we have trees, she says with a laugh.
The murderous buggy things are the problem for me.
That's why I'm really good at archery. She laughs.
I'm not very good with my hand crossbow, but I try.
Well, if you hang around for years, I'll teach you.
There are murderous buggy things in the capital too, but they look more like mice.
I mean, at least the ones here are just doing it because they're hungry.
Hey, you guys aren't gonna die up there, right? Because it would just be...
Oh, I expect to. Yes.
No, I put in a lot of effort to keep you alive down here, so...
Yes, to keep me alive until the right time. And then...
Oh, no, I don't mean eventually when we all died. That's fine. You can do that whenever you want. But, like...
Okay.
Don't die, like, embarrassingly, because, you know, like...
Like what?
That'd be an embarrassment on me.
What's an embarrassing
like a troll
death?
sits on you or something.
I heard of a guy who shot himself to death once.
Shot himself to death.
That was real bad.
I don't intend to shit myself
just so
to
that I could...
death.
Don't shit yourself to death.
No.
Okay, but Spider, you have to promise me something. If Alexandria does shit herself to death, please tell me.
You will be first on my port of call.
Thank you so much.
There are days that being the adult in the room is a real problem. And then there are days like this, says Mala, reaches into her travel bag, pulls out her flask, has a sip.
Right?
My sister is an alcoholic.
Your sister is an alcoholic.
When was Mala ever the adult in the room?
Right?
When Chevalier died.
Pretty much.
No, but then we found Mysore.
That's actually what the song was just like, oh god, no, they need supervision. Who's nearby?
Not wrong. Who's the nearest adult?
Oh god, it's the 12-year-old.
Then the song went, oh, this child will do.
Still better than the others.
Yeah. The perpetual 12-year-old and his pet dragons in improvement.
Not wrong.
Oh.
I think she feels, I guess, the telepathic equivalent of a knock at the door. It's just sort of like this awareness of Mysore is like, is basically saying, would you be okay with this connection kind of thing?
You get the telepathic representation of peek at the door and then realize it's you and then you're allowed in.
it's sort of, yeah, it is sort of like it's that feeling of like he doesn't have to ask,
Yes.
but he, it feels it's not it's it's rude otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just sort of munching away at something, but he's just like, that she might actually die though, and that she's going soon. So, I mean, take it from me. Sometimes conversations can be awkward, but it's better than regretting not saying something.
What am I supposed to say? Your butt is nice?
Just make sure that when she goes, that you don't have regrets.
You being the adult in the room is really weird.
I know. I mean, I know that I pass off the I'm 12 but not, and that's just a thing, but it is weird.
Yes. I think it's only going to get weirder.
Oh, I mean, can you imagine how it's going to be in like a couple of centuries?
And she goes to say, I don't think they live that long. But yes. And so, but she stops before she says that. She says, hey, listen, just take care of yourself, okay?
You too. It's nice traveling with you.
Likewise. Apart from the folding thing, that's really scary.
Yeah, I kind of forgot how that looked.
Yeah, it's bad.
I don't exactly get an outsider view of that.
I would draw it, but I'm really bad at drawing.
That's okay. I also kind of got used to it. It's kind of just what it is now. So
that's fair.
Anyway.
Yes. Okay, bye.
Connection goes away.
She just kind of eats her food in relative silence.
Sorry. Michelle has to point out that a moderator just had to add the phrase "butt" and "booty" to the permitted terms list for this channel, and I have no idea what to do with that.
Yes, I did. I did. Yes, have to do that. I had to do it. I had to do it for Lazuli Rain. I had to. There was no other option.
I like the way that it desperately tried to get rid of 4 words out of one sentence. It was like, no.
It tried to get rid of the word nice. That's my confusion.
Right.
You're not allowed to find anything nice.
This channel is many things. I think the phrase unique does not come close to encompassing them all.
No, nice booty does, though, apparently.
So, yeah. All right. So you guys are going to finish up your meal. You've probably got 3 hours before it's sunrise, topside, which is, means you've got about 3 hours to get to the elevator, which is about a 15-minute walk.
Okay. Do we go now? We need to run. Quick! No!
So, yeah.
This really is that when you're waiting at the airport because your flight is in 3 hours.
It's
and
all
then
of
for
that.
some reason you always run to the gate because you're late somehow. Is that just an ADHD thing?
Now that I think about it, this is probably an ADHD thing.
God damn it. That, or you're compulsively early at it. You're there 4 hours early at the gate, and you're like, oh, almost made it.
The worst one was when I was standing in Dubai, and I was like, oh, let me just go to the bathroom, and they closed the plane and had to open it again for me. I was in the line. I was in the line. I went to the bathroom, realized there was another door out, and went to look at shops.
No,
And then circled back around, and my mum was like, "What is going on?" I didn't realize it had been 45 minutes. I thought it had been 5.
You are a bad.
I thought it had been 5.
And I
Time
was
passes
in
so
Edinburgh.
fast.
I turned up to the airport 24 hours early.
That's impressive.
Hey, Sam.
And the lady was just like, I was just like, okay, I got here. And the lady's just like,
You want to go back?
Do you know what that is? That was you insulting the Scottish by saying that you impulsively turned up English early.
For my own safety, I should point out that that I am Scottish on a bunch of my family side. I was trying to find my keys because I've got like one of the clans that.
There's a bunch of Glaswegians outside your house right now that are like, fine.
Wait, all right.
All right, you can
Oh, it was a joke.
It's all right. I'll call off the lads. I was ready to murder the man.
With a bagpipe.
I can do a lot of accents. The Scottish one is not one I can do.
Scottish
so every time I'm like, oh, I'm going to say something, no. Because then I say it in my head, I'm like, oh, that sounds bad.
Yeah, thank God I stopped that one before it came out of my mouth, because that would have been bad.
I just had to do Shakespeare in a Scottish accent, and that is difficult.
It's not written for that mouth.
It's not written in that way. I mean, the character is Scottish, but even then, it's not written that way.
It's not written for any mouth.
It's Shakespearean text is written for a Cockney accent, a really broad Cockney accent.
I'll measure all his wardrobe piece by piece.
I didn't understand what you said.
No.
So I think it was really good. That sounds like he nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the Scottish accent works, right?
I'm just going to say, it was halfway through that before I realized you were, in fact, speaking English. I was trying to parse that as Russian.
I think a round of applause for Jamie, please.
Oh, my God. With friends like these.
Hoonies and enemies.
I need an
for cleaning your tank.
No, we
also,
just ate.
Sam, I want you to know at one point you said Faust, and in my head, for some reason, I heard Brecht, and I wanted to pass away. I was like, I refuse to allow Brecht back into my mind. It's
I do like the concept of a Brechtian bargain. I was tricked into a Brechtian bargain. Oh, no.
No, worse than a Faustian bargain.
No.
I have to constantly tell people that I'm doing that's theatre. That's just a show.
I can't.
Well, that pretty much Brecht us, didn't it?
I loved so much that I was able to say Brecht, and everyone knew what I meant.
It's so rare. It's so rare. In other worlds, they'd think you said breast.
I did.
Well, under
a breastian deal, on the other hand, would not say no.
Only if you label it breast.
A breastian bargain sounds more interesting.
In a breastian world, I don't wear a corset. I wear a t-shirt and it says corset on it.
Nice.
These only work if people know.
I'm trying to remember the comedian, and I was at like a folk festival, and he just like walked out, and the very first thing he goes, "Look, I'm the tree from Waiting for Godot."
No.
And like kind of like, ha! And it was just like, all right, those thank you to the 5 theatre majors. Anyway, it had nothing to do with anything. It had nothing to do with the set. There's this one bit for like 5 people in the audience.
I hate it.
Thank you for the yeah.
Perfect.
Save us all.
Well,
I don't know who I'm asking. I'm asking someone to save us.
Extra points for having pronounced it right.
Also, now that we're talking about like comparing the elevator to like an airport, I am picturing someone on the elevator being like, the exits don't exist.
I'm
In case of emergency,
No.
we're fucked.
Sorry, I
I
was
might
just
die
suddenly
sooner
thinking
than
of
I thought.
Suddenly, I was thinking of the genie of the genie in the original Latin. The exits are here. Talking about the
They're
fly.
all exits. None of them are good.
Lean on a wall, and your face might get scraped off. Have fun.
Ah, good times.
Good times.
You were so young
Memories,
back
right?
then.
So young, so alive.
I was going to say fresh face, but well,
Well, yes, if you put it up against the rock wall, you do get a fresh face.
yeah.
So, yeah. So Mala looks at you lot as you guys arrive, roll up to the elevator building. She'll pass a few tablets over to the woman who's there, who will give them a cursory look at you lot with a certain amount of surprise and give a nod. And right this way. We're up at the top right now, she says, glancing at a what looks to be, if you will, your typical red, yellow, green, but in sort of arrangement, in terms of a traffic light, but it's in fact a board which moves up and down based on how far the chains have moved. So it indicates basically where in the shaft the elevator is, right? So she glances over at that and she says, yeah, we're up at the top right now, so 15 or 20. Next run, I figure, will be in 15 or 20 minutes. You don't seem to be carrying a lot of stuff, so there's a place to sit down over there. We'll make sure we've got a bench on the platform for you for the ride up, so you don't, chew on your knees. And yeah.
Chew on my knees.
Mala will look at Mala giggles. It's her way of saying the acceleration when the thing first gets going is a little stiff, and if you're standing, it'll. Some people don't quite have the leg strength to not have their butt hit the ground, and usually it's because their knees fold. So then what happens is their face bounces off their knees as their butt hits the platform. Kind of awkward, kind of embarrassing, hurts the teeth.
And the knees, I imagine.
I wouldn't know, she says with a laugh.
That's fair.
She puts her hand out towards Spider. It's good to have met you.
And you.
Seems an awful long way from a rose garden, doesn't
it? Well, and he side eyes where she and Alexandria's standing, and she's awkwardly holding the double rose thing.
Yep.
I hope we cross paths again.
Me too.
Better circumstances.
So she kind of looks around. Hubbub. It's the elevator equivalent of a freight dock. Have you ever been to a train station where they do both passenger and freight? Mm-hmm. The place is just, there's boxes everywhere, there's people trotting around, but there's constant noise, there's that sort of thing. But at the same token, you also get this very peculiar, because everyone's busy, you're just there, no one's really spending a tremendous amount of time paying attention to much other than what's occupying their business, if you will.
Yeah.
Look, if you need me, get a hold of Valoryn down here. They know how to get a hold of me. Might take me a few days to catch up with you, but I'll come.
All right.
I hope Lucas is okay.
Yeah, me too.
You take care of yourself. Make sure Princess doesn't bump her tiara too many times.
She's gonna do what she's gonna do, but she's more resourceful than I would have imagined.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums up the whole thing, doesn't it?
We live in interesting times.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way of putting it.
Can you believe that we met an actual dragon?
She's kind of gonna rub at her forehead for a moment. Probably in a week, yes. Right now, I still having problems with that one.
It's crazy.
It feels like the sort of something. It kind of feels. I don't know. What's the best way to put it? Like the world should have been warned things were going to get this serious.
I hope Lucas gets to meet him. He'll be chuffed.
Don't forget what the ambassador told you, right? When you get topside, check out the Ebon Elf embassy in in Dusseldorf. Apparently, they know something about your grandfather.
Yeah, no, I will do.
I mean, I know you know that. I just feel awful if you got topside with having just and for some reason me not having mentioned it meant you because of everything else going on. It slipped your mind. I know that's ridiculous, but I'd feel responsible. Shakes her head.
Family, huh?
Yeah, family.
Meanwhile.
Yep.
Are they coming to the surface with us, Maestro?
I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, they'd just be going up to come back down.
That's true.
But maybe. It's not that long of a trip.
Did you come in at this side? Or did you come in at... Oh, you weren't. It wasn't you. Wait, it had to be you. Didn't it?
Oh, we came down a while ago. But, yeah. Certainly easier for it to be me. I don't think anyone noticed last time.
Did you come in... Did you come down in Glitter Delta Cove? Or here?
No, we came down... Oh, I don't remember exactly. Further away.
Oh.
It's easy to hide. Well. What's one more glimpse, monster?
One. Well, one more is one.
Oh, I meant that if someone saw Hio, like, if they didn't get a good look at him, it's just one more creepy thing underground. It's full of them. Where the same thing happened topside, people ask more questions.
Oh.
So
I see.
It's often easier for us to spend time down here. But maybe it's okay now if people start remembering. It's been a long time.
Are you sure?
No. But we tried a lot of other things. Why not? I want to be a bit more proactive. And even if it doesn't work, we just cross one more thing off. Try something new.
Okay. Why am I sad?
Sad to leave? Or... I mean, I think you've got a lot of reason to be sad.
Yes, but I think I'm sad because Mala and she are staying here.
It's because they're friends. It's sad to leave friends behind.
Yes.
But at least now you know where to find them again.
Assuming they stay still. Is Underworld big?
Well, you know how to find someone who'll know where they are. And then you can arrange to meet.
I suppose.
But it is sad to leave.
Yes.
All right.
Meanwhile?
No, you're a very pretty rock. No, I know that. You know the disguise that you're doing is actually really good. I would have thought that you were any kind of rock, honestly.
So ready for that to just be a rock.
Shit, it's a rock.
I am also very good at disguises.
You just look like a rock.
All right. Yeah. So
Come on, Marshall. Let's get on the elevator.
Staring at something. Like the boxes.
No, no. Please don't do that dog thing where they're staring at ghosts. Like, don't do that. Don't start doing that.
That's not at all what I meant, but I love it.
No.
Marcel's head just like snaps to one side.
Tubular Bells starts playing.
What was that? Don't worry about it. Elevator, right? Let's go.
Scary. Alexandre.
What?
She had me.
Oh, follow you. What was that?
Yes.
Okay.
What the hell would you have thought that?
I don't know.
And she'll like stand there for a little bit, and only when it's like unbearably awkward would she then go, so it's not a present because I've already kind of given you a present that you then gave back to me.
Okay.
But here, have this. And she'll give you like a little orb. And like for the most part, it's solid, but it's also kind of squishy. And inside there are like just little sparks. It's like a clear orb. And she says, so you ask a lot of questions. It's really irritating sometimes because you'll just ask questions like, just, why are you so annoying? Why do you have to be like that? Anyway, And I thought sometimes you ask the song things. You've spoken about that, right? You've said that you ask the song things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have questions that I know can't be answered, but sometimes I just want to say them anyway. And though I can't hear, see, experience the song, when you made us hear it, I wanted to replicate that in the way that I saw it, heard it, felt it. And she'll just like take the ball out of your hands and she'll like whisper very quietly and then like put her hand out so you can see the sphere. And because we're still in the dark, from out of the sphere, little glowing like globules kind of float off, and it looks like melody notes. And she goes, it only works in the dark. So yeah, just think of that when you're skyside.
Thank you.
You know, I like you. You're likable sometimes. You should be nicer to yourself. Not in like a pig-headed way, like not in a like an egotistical way. I just mean like don't. People like you.
Well, oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Bye. And she'll like walk over to Marla and just stand there very
Alexandre
awkwardly.
hugs she.
She'll just stay very still.
Mm-hmm.
And like pat your arm.
And then, of course, the very busy person running the platform at the bottom. All right, I think we're ready to go. Everybody on board. Come on, get the... No, the red box goes over there. You back to cursing at her stevedores.
Alexandre stops hugging she.
She is a very dark purple.
And as Alexandre walks away in slow motion, the band begins to play.
Slow.
I think just as like the doors of the elevator close.
Actually, that's the worst part about it. It's not really doors. It's an open platform with a guardrail. So
when
it's
the guardrail exists.
I'm just going to say, well, the guardrail gets closed, but there's this 30 feet where you can just kind of watch this thing disappear up into the shaft.
They had complaints a year ago, so they added a guardrail.
Just like quickly before it like shoots off, she'll hand Spider, it's just a feather, and she'll like quickly hand it to him and say, I won't know where you are, just set it on fire when you really need something.
That is very good.
What? Just set it on fire when you...
What do you mean by that?
And yeah, the elevator begins to rise. You sort of understand exactly what the, sit on the chair meant, because yes, it's kind of like that initial lurch when a Ferris wheel gets moving. Spider's thinking to himself, you'd have to be pretty... You'd have to be pretty weak for that to buckle your knees. Oh, okay, got it. And yes, the long and not long 5-minute ride to the surface begins.
It's like my least favorite fairground ride. So.
Yep.
But
long. And there's this long. Again, the shaft itself isn't lit per se. You've still got your glasses on, so you're aware that there's this, a couple of little lights hanging on the guardrail itself, which kind of cast this, sort of purplish red glow that's kind of dancing. The rock walls racing past the platform as it ascends. It's been 2 weeks or thereabouts since you got onto a platform and the rock walls were going, the other direction. And yeah, the rattly clinky, rattly clinky, rattly clinky, rattly clink sort of noise as the chain and ratchet mechanism hoists the loaded platform, which is full of goods, trade materials, a very unhappy parrot, and you lot up to the surface. And yeah, 5 minutes later, the whole thing comes to a slow halt. There's a ka-chink, ka-bang, ka-clunk as the guardrails put themselves away, and a bunch of very busy and absolutely normal-looking humans, a half-elf. Hey, welcome! You've made it as far. You've made it to Dusseldorf. Congratulations! Your risk of suddenly being eaten by something at random that looked like a gold brick are now 0. A few people laugh and that sort of thing. And the night elf
to the orb. Is the risk of this actually 0? So?
It is daytime.
Like,
you can see.
It's like your risk of getting eaten by something that looks like a gold brick. Oh, okay.
So yeah. So you folks get the ebon elf woman in charge of the operation. Yep. All right, come on, get a move on. We got to get the rest of this stuff off the platform before the next rundown. Thank you so much for riding elevators, whatever she says with a laugh.
Thank you for ascending with Underworld lift.
Yeah, I hope you folks had a good visit down there. Not often we see topsiders coming up. We see a lot of topsiders go down, but very few come back. So, yep. So just out that way. Oh, the glasses. You're probably not. It's dark out. You're not going to need sunglasses.
Oh.
Probably. No. You've got about 15-20 minutes before dawn, so you're lucky. Another wouldn't probably. I think the second last run of the day. You have to wait another. You had to wait another while otherwise. All right. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. And you are summarily ushered out.
Bye.
Yeah, so you go, you come out. Dusseldorf, of course, is a portside town. It is a busy location. It is the unofficial gateway to the interior, if you will. Cliff Spider is just upriver from here. And so you folks come out. There's a wet taste in the air. It's kind of chilly. There's a stiff breeze blowing. It's a pre-dawn gloom in the air. You can smell industry. But it's industry that's laying quiet overnight. So the leather tannery not far away, the brickworks, all of those smells have muted and been swept away with the night breeze. The sun's about to rise. There's an onshore wind curling up the bay. And behind you, like a wall. Reaching up to the sky itself is a row of mountains, and beyond it, the single contiguous line of the Sky Anvil Plains.
Are there any trees nearby?
Yes, several.
Alexandra's climbing one.
Alexandra's climbing one. All right.
Alexandra's climbing a tree.
Yep.
Don't know who's nearby. Don't care. Climbing a tree.
Got it.
That's where she's going to watch sunrise. She's not coming down. That's it. That's her. She's done.
Yep. Fair enough. So yeah. So sometime in the next few minutes, the first gold, orange, red glow will begin to crease the far horizon.
I feel like that's the last shot of the anime episode of this session.
Yep.
Is the three of them sitting on a branch in the tree watching the sunrise.
Yep. I think though, because it has to be the anime episode ending. I'm just
get like
yeah,
this. We're gonna do J-pop in that really darn tone.
So the credits I imagine for this episode is like all the outtake scenes from the journey in the underworld. So it's just like us like having a nice meal with the siblings, and everyone's smiling and laughing at each other, and the song playing is something like really twee, like Take a Look at My Girlfriend or something.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, yeah. Take a look at my, yeah, as done by Supertramp, Breakfast in America.
So like, I just imagine you though, it's like got like the silhouette of the three in this tree, got the sunrise coming up, it's slowly zooming out, and then just hear Mysel going, "So what are we doing?"
Shh. I'm watching the sun.
And just because I like to do this to my players, Spider, can you please make me a perception check?
No, all my dice fell off my table.
I don't care about your problems.
I would also like to Whisper of the Wild, but that is after this.
After he makes after he makes his roll, then we'll Whisper of the Wild.
Perception, hey?
Uh-huh.
21.
A 21. All right. Pretty sure they can't do a damn thing about that, but let me make that die roll here. Let's
good.
see.
Not them again.
They can't do that.
That's one or more people.
That is one non-binary person.
No, that is me trying to be as gender neutral as possible. That's actually quite close. That was not a bad roll on their part. A 21. I think there's going to be a moment where, Spider's sitting up in the tree, and I'm not going to go so far as to say his spider sense begins to tingle, but I think at some point he'll just going to glance around almost out of mechanical habit and realize that there's somebody that looks vaguely familiar walking, you just catch the corner of the action as they turn around to walk away from you, and you're left with the impression that they had been watching you for a moment.
Fun.
So about that Whisper of the Wild.
I mean, it had nothing to do with that, so that's fun.
I know.
Yeah, I thought you might. I love how I literally have a whole list of questions that Alexandre has, and then it comes to play, and the question. Well, no, but the question is she's talking about Mala and she. Will you look after them?
And the answer you will get back is no.
Damn it!
Yeah. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that for this week. So yeah,
So-
Nadine, thank you so much for joining us. It has been a delight to have you as a. You are muted, by the way. Keep that in mind. It has been a delight to have you on the show. All the delightful, awkward, all the good giggles. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
All the emotional constipation, I believe it's been called.
Yep, that is the phrase that was used in chat. I
Thank
delight in
you,
it.
Leslie. You didn't need to say my middle name. Okay.
Nadine.
Worst
emotional
baptism
constipation.
ever.
I mean,
we just call her EC around here. Yeah.
good old EC,
It's my nickname.
also known as British.
I was just channeling my inner English person.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
English.
No lies detected.
No lies detected.
Mm.
Wow.
What if British and underground?
Oh.
Asking
Speaking
the
of
big
Kent,
questions.
I mean,
Mm-mm.
Jamie, that is a really involved question.
Jamie, what kind of inner British person?
What kind of an inner British person are you after? Because
No, when I ask a question in chat, I don't want you to answer it on the microphone.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
the whole
all too
point-
late
must
for
hide
that,
these things on
friend.
YouTube.
Yeah, hang on a sec here, folks. The whole point of this is we're not supposed to now spend the next 45 minutes doing an outro. We did the intro, so we didn't have to do the 45-minute outro.
But we had to know
So we'll
that,
do 40 minutes of nonsense instead.
it's great.
Yeah, but that's how we do outros, is my point.
We also didn't do any of the things in the intro we were meant to do.
Yeah.
We plugged some shows, but we didn't mention our Twitter handles.
I was just gonna say, yeah, but what you didn't know is that's the reason I checked them to see if the bot worked, and so I was just,
Yeah.
I just went through everybody's names. So it's been said in chat.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's happened in
Currently on
chat. It's
screen.
come up.
Mm.
Everyone has
But
their
yeah.
Twitter.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so that's it for this week. So next week it's just Alexandri, Mysel, and Spider making their way onwards. And Heo, yes, but
Hey,
So
yeah,
really
yeah,
that-
we'll just call him my Heo, or is it? Or should we
Mayo.
sell Heo? Well, sell Heo. Yeah, sell Heo. So sell Heo and Alexandri and Spider will be making their way onwards, in the fine city of Dusseldorf.
yeah.
All
Good
right.
night, all.
Hey, Ms. Button Pusher, push a button.
I got
Bye,
a push
everybody.
button. I'm looking.
Bye.
I got it. I found
Bye.
it. Bye, everyone.
Bye.